Live, local, now. This is the News at 5.
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Sela. Jody Chapin has the night off. It's the last week before school starts, and plenty of people are hitting the beach for that last bit of some fun in the sun as we take that live look through the eyes of our Tybee Island sky cam. A lot of people out there on the beach trying to beat the summer heat. That's where we do find Tasia Reed, who's enduring it. Tasia, emergency officials tell you some aren't staying safe while they're sunbathing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As you saw, plenty of people on the beach today, and you want to come out to the beach to have some fun in the sun, but that fun can turn very quickly if you're not cautious. Now, I ran into two student leaders with the Urban Hope Summer Camp, and they're responsible for 75 kids. And when they brought them to Tybee this afternoon, they tell me they had to be extra cautious to keep them safe.
Well, we make sure the kids have a lot of water and to stay like distance, like close kind of to the end of the shore.
Drink plenty of fluids, drink a lot of water and other things like Gatorade and things with electrolytes in it.
So again, you can come out here, you can have fun, but you just want to make sure you prepare for the heat. Reporting live on Tybee Island, Tasia Reed, WTOC News.
And obviously when it's hot and humid like this, hard for your body to cool down. So it's important to know the symptoms of excessive heat exposure and know how to respond. To know more information, those are some of the symptoms you see on your screen. Go to our website to get a complete list. Go to WTOC.com and check out the tips from the National Weather Service as well. And speaking of that hot temperature, 99 degrees, you can see at the bottom of your screen. Feels even hotter than that in some places. Let's check in with meteorologist John Weatherby.
And it was 90 degrees on Tybee with a nice little wind gust that was the sea breeze moving through, but it's not that kind of cooling anyplace else if 90 is in fact cooling. Check some of these numbers. The airport's officially at 98. Apparently 99 was our high for the day. Rincon 97, Ridgeland 98, Bluffton's at 96, Hilton Head Island at 93, downtown 97. Hinesville's at 97, Richmond Hill at 98 degrees, still a couple of hundreds. Jessup and Waycross still at 100, Brunswick still at 97, Baxley still at 99. But
well, as John just said, those temperatures will remain hot all weekend. Make sure you download the free WTOC weather app to take along with you for the most up-to-the-minute updates on that hot weather, as well as getting some live traffic as well. Bond has been denied in Savannah for a 13-year-old girl and her 19-year-old brother accused of stealing a car and taking their brother along for the ride. This is new video you're about to see of Jonamisha Jones and Devontae Jones in court this afternoon. Jonamisha is being charged with robbery by force. Devontae is charged with robbery by force, cruelty to children, and various traffic charges. Police say the siblings stole the car July 12th, and when officers attempted to stop them, the driver took off. They ended up crashing the car and running. Metro Police eventually found and arrested the 19-year-old, and the baby was found behind a shed in the woods alone. The 13-year-old was found later that morning. Both teens are being charged as adults, and their cases are now going to Superior Court. We are now learning more information about the person found on Cooks Landing Road in the Levy area of Jasper County. 23-year-old Javon Winston of Bluffton was found dead from a gunshot wound Tuesday afternoon, but police believe his body had already been there for a few days. WTOC's Georgia Godfrey joining us now from the Low Country newsroom in Georgia. You learned that the victim was actually reported missing.
That's right. His mother actually filed a police report with the Bluffton Police Department Tuesday, just hours before his body was found. The last she heard of her son was him arguing on the phone. The mother also states that she knew her son was upset about drugs he had bought and taken, but Sunday night when she tried to reach him by phone, her calls continuously went to voicemail. Winston's murder marks the 6th in the county so far, and with a population of only 27,000 people, Jasper County is in the top 5 in the state for the most murders per capita. And coming up in the news at 6, we'll hear from a community activist who is trying to combat the rise in crime in Jasper. For now, I'm live in the Low Country newsroom. Georgia Godfrey, WTOC News.
And you can see here on your screen those murders in Jasper County so far this year. 2 of those murders taking place in the same month, almost 2 weeks apart. The Chatham County Sheriff's Office announcing the arrest of 2 sex offenders today for violating their probation. Stuart Hundley and Antonio Duncan arrested for failure to register as a sex offender. Duncan was arrested in Hinesville after discovering he had moved from Chatham County and didn't keep his registry current. More charges for a Tattnall County man on the run for more than a week. Michael Grovenstein went back before a judge today on burglary charges in addition to battery charges from a fight and a utility cart wreck. Officials from Japan making a visit in Savannah today to talk about the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement and what it would mean for Georgia. The Japanese delegation meeting with business leaders and public officials at the World Trade Center on Hutchinson Island.
The agreement is not perfect. That's the reason why we've been hearing out some concerns.
It's too important just to say, no, we're not going to do it. And it's too important just to say, no, it failed once, we're not going to try it again.
According to the International Trade Administration, 37% of the goods that Georgia exports went to TPP countries in 2014. Georgia Governor Nathan Deal was in our area today to tour the Air Dominance Center. During his trip to Savannah, he also met with senior leaders at the ADC to get an overview of the mission of Century Savannah and their exercise.
Most of the other comparable type facilities do not have the airspace available to them, and they are making great use of that, and we should be very pleased.
Covering campaign 2016 for a quarter of a century, she's been working behind the men in charge, but now Hillary Clinton is getting her turn in the spotlight with the American public. Her speech to the Democratic National Convention tonight could be the most important of her career. It'll mark the end of the Democratic National Convention. All right, ice cream lovers out there, listen, Dairy Queen is giving back to sick children, but they need your help. Our Dow Kennedy has details coming up. And the FDA is reevaluating controversies on blood donations, what you need to know. A German official says the fact that two men who came into Germany as refugees and carried out attacks claimed by the Islamic State group mocks the country that took them in. Officials meeting at a news conference today saying they will do everything they can to clear up the barbaric acts that were performed and will also bring justice to whoever was behind it. Officials also say they will do everything they can to ensure security. The government is reconsidering its restrictions on blood donations from gay and bisexual men. Currently restricts men who have had sexual relations with other men in the past year. The Food and Drug Administration is now getting the community to make comments on this. The FDA says they want people to submit their ideas on what other blood donor policies would they like. Changes that occur in teenagers' brains as they get older may help explain why signs of mental illness occur at that time. Researchers used MRI scans to compare brain structures of almost 300 people between the ages of 14 and 24. They discovered the brain's outer region becomes thinner as teens get older. Researchers say the rapid development of a teen's brain region could explain why illnesses such as depression and schizophrenia occur at that time. Some people who are diagnosed with Alzheimer's may not have it after all. Researchers performed two studies. In the first study, researchers found men may be diagnosed more often than women because of the disease developing in men at a younger age. In the second study, researchers looked at inconsistencies between clinical and autopsy diagnosis in more than 1,000 people listed in a national Alzheimer's database. They found only 78% had a correct diagnosis. Well, happening now. We got that summer heat wave out there, very hot, 99 degrees it shows down there, but things cooling off. Blizzard-like conditions in Glenville. Well, if you just like blizzards, check out the Dairy Queen. Bureau Chief Dow Kennedy is live in Glenville for Miracle Treat Day at the DQ. There and all across the country helping out sick children.
Mike, that's right. It goes to the Children's Miracle Network, and you can see behind me the evening rush has started to pick up from where it was about an hour ago when we came live. You can see more people are starting to come in, but it has been busy all day long, and it's all, again, we say, for a good cause. Take a look at some of the video from earlier. It all helps the Children's Miracle Network, and this restaurant helps lead the nation in this DQ campaign. They will be here till 10 o'clock. I'm going to be behind that counter from 6 to 8 o'clock, so if you're close by, come on by here. You can get a Blizzard. If you're not in this area, please go by your local DQ, get a Blizzard, because the proceeds from that Blizzard go to Children's Miracle Network. We'll have some numbers for you coming up tonight on the news at 11. Live in Glenville, Dow Kennedy, WTOC News.
Great way to cool off and a nice treat. Also benefiting the Children's Miracle Network, WTOC is teaming up with iHeartRadio for a radiothon called A Day of Giving, Friday, August 19th, to benefit the Dwayne and Cynthia Willett Children's Hospital at Memorial Health in Savannah. So please mark your calendar.